You're listening to the Ecosystem Approach show. I'm Jason.
And I'm Patricia.
We discovered that human potential is severely limited when you program humans like a machine, which is standard practice today for self-improvement.
The Ecosystem Approach teaches you how to uncover your infinite potential by using natural methods that are truly revolutionary. Join us now for the Ecosystem Approach show. We've been channeling Bashar, Abraham, and Seth, and the story has taken us in places we never expected.
It's amazing.
Today, we're going to talk about the alliance that is forming and a twist that we didn't expect either. The information we're getting is a new way of thinking about energy and the non-physical dimension. By the way, this is amazing, everyone. Many people will not be able to handle this information and will resist the change in thought. What about you? Jason, let's review what's already happened.
Well, so just kind of a recap like they do on TV, okay?
Okay.
We've been channeling Bashar, Abraham, and Seth, and they are evolved entities from the non-physical dimension and have been responsible for much of what we know about energy, consciousness, and creating your own reality. And Seth, for example, was channeled by Jane Roberts back in the 60s.
Correct.
So this stuff has been around for a while.
Yes.
But when we first connected, they said to Patricia, "We've been waiting for you. You have the missing piece." And oh my gosh, there's such a backstory here. We'll talk about that in the fourth segment. But let's start first.
Okay. Well, Jason, explain what is the missing piece?
We know there will be a lot of resistance to this new information, and part of it is loyalty to Jane Roberts, Esther Hicks, and Daryl Anka.
And by the way, I would feel the same until I actually got to channel them.
Exactly.
Okay.
But it's clear to us that there was no bad or sinister motives by any one of them. In fact, we can see clearly their motives were lofty and very altruistic.
Yes.
But here's what happened. Dark or negative energy has created a frame or an approach or a commonly accepted method which is highly toxic to human beings. But because of that frame, we've all become numb to the natural ways that our body and existence is supposed to work.
Yes.
In other words, if something came to us that was unnatural to us, we would immediately reject it. But we've been programmed over, for hundreds and hundreds of years that this is the way it is. And now it's just, we don't even question it. This frame approach or commonly accepted method is to program people like machines. Now, if you've been listening to us for a while, we've been talking about this forever, that you can't program yourself like a machine.
Right.
You should be more natural. And that's the reason for our name, the Ecosystem Approach. But so here's some examples of programming.
Okay.
Activate an attitude of gratitude. That's programming. If you clear away the negative energy, you will naturally feel gratitude as appropriate in your life, in the right time, in the right place. You don't have to activate an attitude. That's programming. Don't force yourself to do that. If you're not feeling grateful, there's a reason for it, and let's remove it. Have a positive mental attitude. Oh, I got sucked into this. I read all the Norman Vincent Peale books when it was, 70s, 80s. That appealed to me at the time, but that's all programming. If you try and make yourself positive, there's something wrong in the first place.
Yes.
And that's what we do with the ecosystem approach. We remove the toxins from your ecosystem. There are all sorts of ways that you program people to be like machines, and we'll
and we're going to talk about a lot of them
yes.
In the next few months for sure. So stay with us on that one, Jason.
So that was the missing piece.
Yes.
The missing piece is that there's a frame.
Well, wait a minute. Let me ask the question.
Okay.
And the reason I'm asking it this way is I want people to be able to find this.
Okay.
So, how is the missing piece? How did it happen?
Okay. When Jane, Esther, and Daryl channeled this information,
Yes.
they framed it in the way that they were taught. In
Yes.
other words, it seemed very natural to them. There wasn't any bad motives,
Right.
and it was in programming and machine-like language. If it were not for the negative energy we're talking about, the information would have worked easily. In other words, if we didn't already have a lot of negative energy attached to us, you could just evolve yourself.
That's
That would
right.
just
In
happen.
other words, those vibrations that
They,
Seth, Daryl,
to
and
say to raise, you could just
exactly,
do it.
you would.
But if, and we've been seeing this and we've been doing this for the last 25 years.
And
This
more.
is how the ecosystem approach was created. We see this negative energy and how it works in people's lives.
Yes.
And it's a big deal. And it's very covert. It doesn't hold up a sign and say, here, this is negative energy.
I'm over here. Yeah, pick me.
It comes at us as love. It
Yeah.
comes at us as helpfulness. It comes at us as I'm just trying to help you. I'm just trying to give you the best advice.
Correct.
I'm just trying to make your life better.
Right.
And we fall for it as human beings over and over and over again. And this missing piece, they saw that we had it. So
Yes.
when they said to Patricia when we first reached out, and they said, "We've been waiting for you," we were shocked.
Well, and by the way, I have to say, I actually went, excuse me? Wait, pardon me? I'm sorry, I'm not quite getting this. What do you mean? And I needed an explanation because, in all honesty, I didn't believe it. I thought, maybe somebody slipped some drugs in the water I was drinking, that kind of thing. It was just so different from what I expected.
It's sort of analogous to this idea, and I was in I've got a degree in business. Not that it's
That would
valuable or useful.
Well, but it wouldn't surprise anybody
Yeah.
by some of the things you say.
Yeah, but so they used to say, oh, if you build a better mousetrap, people will beat a path to your door. With the idea that when you have a better mousetrap, everybody can see that it is, and they'll be attracted to it.
Right.
That's not always the case, and the missing piece is that this frame keeps us from seeing other parts of life. This frame of how things should be, this frame of how we've been trained has kept us from really true evolution.
Well,
And it's not working in a way that that
was intended.
was intended.
That is correct.
And we had someone come to us recently that told us they did the Abraham stuff for
Years.
and it didn't work for them. And I know why now is because they were trying to apply a certain frame. The truth is that the world is not in a natural state anymore because of the programming.
That is correct. In other words, that's a major part of the destruction.
We're attuned to the information that has been programmed for us to receive.
Exactly.
We don't hear or see anything that's outside of that.
Well, in fact, Jason's talking about the frame of the information from Jane, Esther, and Daryl. And by the way, I admire them. I just want to really say it took a lot of courage for all of them to do what they did and what they do. But what's happened is because of the training and the programming that we all have, the frame that Jane, Esther, and Daryl used, other people's frames individually, they're trying to take their frame and put it on top of the frame that Jane, Esther, and Daryl have been talking about. In other words, raising your vibration. I'm making it simple. I'm being very...
In computer talk, they say garbage in, garbage out.
Okay, exactly. But they're taking... I don't want to say that because it's not garbage, but they're taking the information that
When it's the wrong frame that starts, what you start with,
exactly.
no matter what you put on top of it, it's not going to be better.
It's not going to be an answer. And it's, in fact, I would say that it's confused or held so many souls back from evolution or raising their vibration. And to me, this isn't acceptable. What we have will help you raise your vibration.
So if you don't get what we're saying, that's okay.
Okay.
And that just means that it's you're still and as it should be connected to this old frame. But if you just had this little inkling in some part of you, this little nudge in some part of you that says, "Oh my gosh,
Right.
this is what I've been waiting for. This is what I need," the first thing you could do should go to our YouTube channel, The Ecosystem Approach with Jason and Patricia Roan, and just subscribe so you get all the information.
Yes, and I'm going to add, we're here to help you. That's what we came here to do.
We're here to help the world evolve, not to be the gurus. We don't want to be the gurus. We want to show other people how to evolve, so you can get your own information.
Exactly. So, Jason, what is the summary of this segment?
We channeled Bashar, Abraham, and Seth, and they said to us, "We've been waiting for you. You have the missing piece." We know that many people hear this will have resistance to this new information. The channeling from Jane Roberts, Esther Hicks, and Daryl Anka, while having altruistic motives, was framed in machine-like programming language due to the negative energy which has created this trap.
Yes.
This framing led to people programming themselves and creating illusions about their evolution instead of experiencing genuine energetic shifts.
Wow. Okay. In the next segment, we're going to start talking about how free will power is a major factor in the flow of information, and that power has been completely misunderstood. This is the Ecosystem Approach Show with Patricia and Jason, and you're listening to Transformation Talk Radio. This is the Ecosystem Approach Show with Jason, and I'm Patricia. And in this segment, we're going to talk about how free will power is a major factor in the flow of information, and that power, has been completely misunderstood.
This is radical. This will change what you believe about the non-physical dimension.
Exactly. So, Jason, what is free will and what is the uniqueness to Earth about it?
Free will is the ability to affect change in physical form. Okay. You've probably heard that we are energy beings in physical form. Yeah. No, nothing new there.
Yes.
The reason that the physical dimension, we can, the reason is because in the physical dimension, we can see and feel behaviors and actions. So if I was in spirit form,
okay,
and I left my my underwear on the bedroom floor,
yeah,
I could see my wife's disapproval on her face, but I might not feel guilt or fear or trepidation,
which would be very appropriate, everyone. We're just teasing.
That's a stupid example, but the truth is,
actually a lot of people would understand that.
We feel things,
yes, we do,
that we wouldn't feel otherwise. If we abuse our body, we feel it. If we do things that are toxic to us, we feel it. And in the spiritual dimension, it's not quite the same. So you don't learn. You learn in the physical dimension where there's free will. So not only do we feel the effects of our behavior, negative and positive, but we also have the ability to say, "Oh, I don't want to do it that way. I'm gonna pick my underwear up from now on."
Well, or we also, with the free will, we have the right to choose and make changes.
Yes.
As we would want to.
So people might hear that and say, "Okay, well, so what's the big deal?"
Well,
that is incredible power. And
Yes,
what
it
we're
is.
hearing, and we were getting this information like 5 minutes before the show. It's coming. It's like an avalanche that's coming on
Yeah.
top. But and were they all three talking to you? I mean,
Yes, they were, and they were talking about why programming has this is one of the things that they've been talking to me about in the last few hours about how programming has been so toxic to free will. And we think, well, what's the big deal? But if you're programmed, and oftentimes through abuse, we're programmed to do things a
or best
certain way,
practices,
or
or if this
exactly,
happens, you do this. If this happens,
exactly,
you do
exactly.
this.
And there are some common sense things here that we're not actually talking about. But for the most part, you're supposed to do certain things certain ways. And if you have free will, it will at least give you the opportunity to say, well, wait a minute. And I call it this. I can do a 360 walkabout. Sounds like I'm, from down under, but the 360 walkabout to see if possibly there is another way to look at something.
Well, and so let me give some concrete examples,
Okay,
okay?
good. Good, good. I
So,
like
so you just broke up with your boyfriend. There's commonly accepted things that you should do,
correct.
or you're struggling with the relationship. Oh, let's take a break, or let's do
Sure.
this, or let's do that,
Oh,
But what happens is instead of going um, within ourselves to our essence and saying, okay, what's the best thing for me given this situation right now
correct.
for me to do? And that's how we're designed. We've now been programmed to go outside of ourselves and go to an online forum or ask YouTube or
Correct.
go to Facebook
Correct.
or
Or go sit down in the bar and have 10 drinks and get in a car and drive home. Not real
that changes the
smart.
topic,
Well,
but
that's beside the point. It's
or go to the bartender and say, "What do you think I should do?" Or
exactly.
your girlfriends or your guy friends or your
Exactly.
it's
In other words, we've been programmed not to go within and ask ourselves what's best for
so
us.
this programming, that's how it's created.
Yeah.
But what we don't understand is that this amazing power to make change within ourselves,
Yes.
and the power comes from our essence, which is
Meaning within.
yes, which is that connection to say, I know what to do.
Right.
Your essence knows what to do all the time in
Yes.
the best way that's
Yes, it
best
does.
for you
Yes.
in that situation at the right time and the right way.
That is absolutely.
But it's been blocked, and there's so much
Exactly.
negative energy already attached to it that it interferes with our ability to get good perceptions.
Yes. Yes. Yes.
Our intuition may be wrong or whatever.
Well, okay. Let's here's the free will is unique to Earth. And it's one of the things that they've been talking to me about a lot, meaning that they don't have the exact way of doing things in another dimension. And so we've been led to believe that they are highly evolved, that they have all the answers.
That we're like, and this is part of the Judeo-Christian ethic where God sees and knows all
That's right.
and tells us what to do and we're just supposed to follow and be obedient.
Yes.
Well, in the age of Aquarius, that's no longer true.
Exactly.
It's a new perspective of personal responsibility, personal empowerment.
I like that. Yeah.
And so we got to this because we saw that Bashar was not just one entity, but three. Bashar 1, 2, and 3.
Yeah, and they're all connected.
They're all connected.
Yes.
And Bashar 1 was not cooperating with Bashar 2 and 3
Correct.
or Abraham and Seth. They're coming together and saying, let's work together.
Let's create an alliance to work together.
And Bashar 1 is saying, no, I want to do it the same way I've always been doing it.
Right.
And so Bashar 2 and 3 has asked us. Here's where it's really flipped on its upside down.
Yes.
Ask us to clear him because of free will. We have the power to remove the negative energy attached to Bashar 1, which he probably got from Daryl, who has his own negative energy. We all do. Us too.
Yes.
And because of free will, we have the power to remove that negative energy which they don't have because they're in the non-physical dimension.
That's right.
This is a radical notion. If you're not gasping, you're not getting it. This is a radical notion and completely contrary to what we've been taught.
Exactly. Well, I've got another one I'm gonna put right out
Okay.
there, and so hold on, everyone. Jason, I'm gonna ask you, is it true that they're channeling us?
That was one of the big ahas that we had, and for both of us, it's like
What?
What?
What do you mean? Why would you be channeling me?
What we found out, what they told us is that when we channel them, it creates a portal for them to channel us.
Correct.
So when Abraham was giving information to Esther Hicks, he was seeing the world through her eyes.
Correct.
They want to see the world through our eyes because of our evolution, the work that we've been doing for the last 25 years.
Yes.
They want to see it through our eyes because that's how they learn. Oh my gosh, we thought of them as the all-knowing presence
That is correct.
giving us information, and that's not absolutely true.
Well, and I'm gonna repeat it. They're saying they're channeling us. What could we possibly have that they don't? And the answer is Earth is unique, truly unique to this universe and possibly many others. And therefore, there's information here that will not only help them evolve, but then in that, they'll be able to help us evolve.
But there's something else.
Go
which is
ahead.
the power
There you go.
of free will.
Yes.
Oh my gosh, that is like gold. You
It
know,
is.
we live here in California where they had the gold rush. They call it the mother lode.
That's right.
This is the gold rush in the universe right now. This free will power,
Correct.
this life force is nowhere else in the universe.
Or any others that I've been told about or that they're talking about.
Their view of us is limited by what they can see through people that channel them.
Yes.
And so and we're running out of time. We got to get to this, and
okay.
we'll keep going in the next segment. But
So with that said, Jason, let's talk about the new perspective on the Alliance. And it must include evolved people on Earth.
in other words, they want to see the world through evolved people's eyes here on
Exactly.
Earth to understand in a way that's better that they couldn't get before.
That's right.
With Jane Roberts, Esther, and Daryl.
Right.
So, and that this communication is two-way. It has to be two-way.
That's correct.
We've been thinking top down. They're the enlightened ones. We're the
I'm going to use the word minions.
minions, and it's not true. It's
Yeah.
a two-way communication.
Exactly.
And that's part of the alliance that we're talking about forming right now. That with them and with us,
Correct.
for the mutual benefit of both of us, and because they want to understand free will, they want that power for themselves and for where they're from.
And so I'm going to say, think about you as a person being able to be part of this alliance that we're talking about. Wow, what would that mean not only for the entire group, but what would that mean for you? So, Jason, with that said, what is the summary of this segment?
Souls come to Earth so they can have pushback to their actions in the physical world.
Correct.
Free will is the ability to make choices and affect those choices. It also allows humans to perceive and remove negative energy in ways that are not possible in the non-physical dimension. They want that power for themselves here. Our view of evolved being having power and wisdom is hierarchical, is incorrect, and is part of the programming, which is not the intention of Bashar, Abraham, and Seth. The alliance we're creating must be a two-way street, and that is only in the age of Aquarius. That's only possible in the age of Aquarius.
Exactly. So, with that said, in the next segment, we're going to talk about the trap that dark energy created because it made the idea of programming as the best way to grow, and how most self-help and even spiritual and energetic gurus use programming methods. Our name, the ecosystem approach, helps to point the way to the solution. This is the Ecosystem Approach Show with Jason and Patricia, and you're listening to Transformation Talk Radio. This is the Ecosystem Approach Show with Jason, and I'm Patricia. And in this segment, we're going to talk about the trap that dark energy created because it made the idea of programming as the best way to grow, and how most self-help and even spiritual and energetic gurus use programming methods. Our name, the Ecosystem Approach, helps point the way to the solution. I like that.
I like that too. So.
All right. Why is programming so toxic to humans?
It separates us from our soul or our essence. And since we've been disconnected for so long, we don't even know what that means or how that feels.
And by the way, you're talking so long. You're talking
hundreds of years, at least. At the very least,
yeah.
yes.
Yes. Okay, go ahead.
And most problems and difficulties that we have individually and collectively can be traced to being disconnected from our essence. We have done so many shows about this in the past.
Yes.
Many quick examples include prejudice and discrimination doesn't exist at the level of a healthy soul.
That is correct.
Barriers to coming together for collective good is natural for healthy souls. Treating each other fairly and kindly is also natural for healthy souls.
I love that.
And so does that mean we have a lot of unhealthy souls in the world? Yes. Yes. And okay.
Tell us how you really feel.
So,
all right. So, Jason, let me ask you the question. The ecosystem approach, is it truly the name and the way to heal?
It's the antidote to treating humans like a machine is to restore their ecosystem.
Yes.
We don't think of ourselves as an ecosystem. In fact, traditional medicine treats us like parts. And they're even in terms of specialties. Remember Marcus Welby? I know that dates me, but when someone got sick, they would say, I want a specialist. Like a specialist would be the most effective to help cure any problem. But most problems that in the human body are not just in one area, but they go all over.
Well, wait a minute. Let's just back up and say what we do know. We know that most problems in the human body, in fact, all problems in the human body, come from what? Negative energy.
And where is that located? In your essence, in your soul, in your unhealthy soul. So when you get that blocked and you don't know it's unhealthy,
correct,
it just gets worse and worse and worse.
Yes.
So the ecosystem approach name, which is if you start to treat yourself like an ecosystem, just like an ecosystem that has toxics in it, you first have to remove the toxics, and then
before you can actually see what's really there.
And then the ecosystem will restore itself. It doesn't need help.
No.
An ecosystem knows what to do.
Yes.
It doesn't need a manual. It doesn't need to go to Google or AI to find out what best practices are.
Correct.
It doesn't need an expert. It will just be better. And all the emphasis now on getting therapy and talking to someone, and there's nothing wrong with that per se. But
except for the amount of money you're spending when you could be doing other things with it.
A natural healthy ecosystem. They think I'm the opinionated one, but really, anyway, a natural healthy ecosystem knows how to heal itself. So
yes, it does.
Knows what's wrong, what needs to be removed, and it does it.
And if you listen to what that ecosystem is telling you, you will know what to remove. Yeah. It's pretty awesome the way that happens.
Currently, there's no hard line between the physical and the non-physical dimension. We see it as there is. Most people, the majority of people are going all day long without any sort of interaction with the non-physical dimension.
That is correct.
They might not even acknowledge that it exists. If you're in science, why would you acknowledge that this is a non-physical dimension? It's not there.
Right.
But it's not supposed to be that way. Humans should have constant two-way access because your essence or soul exists in the non-physical dimension. You can't grab it, you can't measure it, you can't touch it. It exists there, and we need to have that constant communication in order for us to be healthy.
Okay. Well, I'm going to change the subject, but it's still the same subject, just a little bit. Are you ready for Bashar, Abraham, and Seth, what this alliance can do not only for you, but for them
And for the world,
and the world?
I mean, this affects everyone.
Everyone.
If we have this, if we create this alliance so that they talk to us, but we talk to them, and that's why they came to us.
Yeah.
That's why they said, we've been waiting for you, because they want to get this from an evolved perspective,
Right.
not just they couldn't consistently connect with people who are lacking in a certain level of evolution. But even the ones that they were able to connect with didn't have sufficient to get their message
Yes.
in a way that was meaningful.
Correct.
So, are you ready? We need a critical mass of people in this world to help the world evolve,
Yes.
but also to overcome this dark energy that's been then clagging up and making everybody's essence unhealthy.
And so, how do you and all of us get ready for this huge change? Remember, it's the age of Aquarius. This is all happening now for a reason.
So this is our 356th show,
Okay.
and we've been talking about how to evolve.
Well, since day one.
Yeah, since day one, 2018. It's been a long time. There's been a lot of shows. There's a lot. If you just go back, if you go to our YouTube channel, the Ecosystem Approach with Jason and Patricia Roan on YouTube, there's a lot of information there.
Correct.
You can go to our website, theecosystemapproach.org, and sign up for a free section.
There you go.
There's a lot of content there that'll help you with that. We want to help people. We don't want to be the gurus. We don't want to be the standing up in a lofty place and saying with a megaphone, this is what you should do. We want you to develop your own evolution so you can know where to go, what to do, how to approach this yourself first.
Correct.
And what we need to talk about, and we haven't done enough of this,
Okay.
which is what does evolution look like? Because we don't know. We think of evolution as accomplishment. We think of evolution.
Right. In other words, how many cars,
Yeah.
how big of a house,
Yes.
much money.
What did you create?
Right.
Did you, the people, the people who are our heroes, this is a radical thought, are not the most evolved. They just were able to do one or two things really well.
Yes.
And they got a lot of credit for it. A lot of money flowed to them, and but they're not the most evolved. And we're choosing leaders based on accomplishment or perception of accomplishment that may be wrong. We need to have evolved leaders.
Yes.
But it has to start first with evolved people. And the question is, what about you? If you're listening to that right now, what about you? Are you ready to do this? Just take that first step. Go to our website, the Ecosystem Approach, sign up for a free section. Go to our YouTube channel, subscribe to our YouTube channel. Do that right away.
Yes.
And we're promoted in a lot of different outlets. Transformation Talk Radio promotes us, and we appreciate them.
We do.
But go to our YouTube channel, the Ecosystem Approach on YouTube, Jason and Patricia Roan, and subscribe to that channel. We'll be putting on more and more information that's unique, that won't be on the other channels.
That's correct.
And so you'll get it there.
So, Jason, what is the summary of this segment?
Programming is toxic to humans because of connecting with essence, because instead of connecting with essence, to understand how they authentically feel,
Correct.
they force or trick themselves to feel a particular way and suppress essence.
Yes.
Restoring the human ecosystem is the solution, which is the basis for our name, the Ecosystem Approach. The current divide between physical and non-physical dimension should not exist. Humans without toxic negative energy would have constant two-way access to both dimensions.
Yes.
The alliance has to be based on two-way communication that includes humans evolving, and Bashar, Abraham, and Seth. And oh my gosh,
I love it.
it's so exciting for me. I hope you can join us. If you're feeling something right now, please connect with us so you can stay in touch.
In the next segment, we're going to show you how to remove negative energy that blocks your evolution that we call clearing. So you can evolve and be part of this developing alliance. Oh my gosh. Stick with us. This is the Ecosystem Approach Show with Jason and Patricia, and you're listening to Transformation Talk Radio. This is the Ecosystem Approach Show with Jason, and I'm Patricia. And in this segment, we're going to show you how to remove negative energy that blocks your evolution that we call the clearing. So you can evolve and be part of this developing alliance. This is so exciting, and I'm so excited that people are going to be joining us in all of this.
We just decided this. This is a little side note. We just decided this before the show, and I haven't even had a chance to tell you.
Oh,
we've been talking about it,
okay.
But in our next show, we're going to talk some of the backstories about this whole process.
Yeah,
because we've been telling you what the conclusions are,
but we haven't talked about how we got there.
How we got there, how it's affected us, how it's affected us on a day-to-day basis. Having them talk to us, all the time.
Yes.
And how exhausting it can be, how it affects us day to day. Oh my gosh, it's kind of an interesting backstory. So that's our next show.
Okay.
Be sure to stay tuned.
Okay.
So how to clear? Let's talk.
Okay. Let's talk about that.
This is not. We've never established that you put yourself in a reverent position. And I think we always knew, in this age of Aquarius, this is just a process that you do because energy is everywhere. This subtle energy is everywhere. And you don't have to you're not praying to God with this. You're just using your own capabilities, your own essence.
That's correct.
To help you remove this negative energy, and you're telling it what to do.
And by the way, that is what we were designed to do.
Exactly.
One of the designs.
We're designed to do this on our own. We don't have to ask for the heavens to remove
permission.
Correct. Any of that.
Yes.
So your posture is not important. You don't have to be in a prayerful mode or any of that.
Okay.
All you have to do is we do it. We do it while we're walking, while we're doing something else, washing dishes, taking a shower.
Yes.
We go for a walk with the dogs every morning, and we always do some clearing then.
Yes, we do.
We can sit and clear. You can do that. You can be laying down and clear. You can be we have an inversion table that's part of our exercise routine. You can be clearing then. There's no rules supposed to's about how you position yourself.
The only thing that I find is that I need space from the outside world, so to speak. In other words, things coming at me. That it really does help benefit me. When
you like to focus more.
I do.
But we both, and she says focus, but if you knew her, she always does 2 or 3 things at the same time anyways. So, and most of us,
I do.
A lot of times I'll be clearing and doing something else or doing something mindless. And I like it that way.
Yes.
You don't have to focus. You don't have to focus really hard on what you're saying. It won't make it any better. So.
And then after we do the clearing, and there's a thing that we say, it kind of centers you.
Well, and the what we say is helps turn on the equipment and gets our attention to the processes that need to be turned on.
Exactly. So. And then after that, what we're going to do is we're going to activate life force energy. And by the way, life force energy is the most powerful energy that there is. And when you learn how to use that life force energy, you will be amazed at what it can do. And so we're going to show you how to do that in just a few minutes. So are you ready to do some clearing?
So remember, and we didn't tell them when we say what to clear, it's usually an emotion, barriers, veils, and illusions.
Correct.
In your imagination, that's a non-physical dimension. Gather that stuff up and blow it into the processor. Nat's going to put a picture of the processor on. It's just basically
Thank you, Nat.
takes that negative energy, that energy that we're blowing out, and processes it, comes out neutral.
Yes.
Perfect.
Hey, it's not only good for you, it's good for the entire environment,
Yes.
which is good for the world.
Never to come back as negative energy again.
Exactly.
So here we go.
Go ahead, Jason.
I direct all my resources in all dimensions to eliminate the veils and illusions so I can see that free will that is present on earth right now is an amazing advantage and benefit that has been present in plain sight all this time. Take a breath.
Take a breath.
And then blow it in the processor.
You're going to blow those veils and illusions that are keeping you from seeing how amazing all of this energy is. Next one, I'm going to shorten it up just a little bit and to eliminate the barriers so I can connect with any part of my healthy essence that craves the possibility of being freed from the toxic effects of negative energy. So right now, we're going to pull up the toxic effects of negative energy and we're going to throw them in the processor. By the way, throwing things in the processor is the best way to make sure that energy, that negative energy, does not come back. Nice and easy. One more time.
It's the ecosystem way of dealing with negative energy.
That is correct.
Yes.
So, Jason.
And to eliminate the barriers so I can decide right now that my essence has been enslaved long enough, and I won't waste any more time living in the confines of this negative energy that is attached to me. Oh my gosh.
Tip of your toes, everyone, pull up the confines of this negative energy and throw it in the processor.
All right.
And to eliminate the veils and illusions so I can see how my personal evolution can help me, no matter where that personal evolution is right now. Nice and easy. Pull up those veils and illusions to start uncovering your personal evolution. Jason?
And to eliminate the barrier so I can have barriers to the deep feeling inside of me that says, yes, this is what I need and want and have always been looking for. There's a part of you that it will be activated when you clear it. It'll say, "Oh yeah, it might be just a little nudge, just a little nudge." But your essence wants to say, "Hey, I let me out."
Yes. So let's
free me
those barriers and throw them in that processor. Now we're going to activate some life force. Remember, life force is the most powerful energy that any of us has access to. So do me a favor, follow along. Repeat, I direct all my resources in all dimensions to activate life force energy so I can use life force energy for all that I need, want, desire, and deserve. And that includes good health, happiness, hope, clarity, self-worth, power, and the ability to see who and what is in my highest and best interest. Starting right now. Pull it in through the top of your head. Let it go all the way down your physical body. Ask it to stop at the tips of your toes. We're going to turn it around and pull up any negative energy that was just uncovered. Throw it in the processor. I have one more. And activate life force so I can trust my evolution will be the greatest thing that can ever happen to me and also the world around me. Nice and easy. Pull it in. Oh, that just feels so good. And blow it out.
Do you want to be part of this alliance? It's going to be available to anybody who is actively working on their own evolution.
Yes.
And if you felt some sort of physical sensation, maybe the tiniest of buzz or just an excitement or a feeling in the back of your neck, it could be anything. This is your time.
Yeah.
It's your wake-up call. We think of wake-up calls as big and grandiose and the world changes and we see but it's not that way. We get these wake-up calls and we know for us in hindsight that we've been having them for years. We just didn't know what they were and we ignored it because that's what we're programmed to do. Oh my gosh.
Well done.
Yeah. So,
yes.
But if you're getting this nudge, it's time for you. We want you to join us. Please do that. And you can just join us by going to our YouTube channel, subscribing, the Ecosystem Approach with Jason and Patricia Roan. Go to our website, theecosystemapproach.org, sign up for a free section. Then you have access. All we ask for is your email address. We won't spam you. We don't do any of that. And just connect.
And I want to say, ask a friend to join you.
Yes.
One of the best things that you can do is have a, as Jason calls it, a clearing buddy. And one of the reasons is because sometimes we doubt and question ourselves. Oh, what a surprise. And when we have a clearing buddy and we do clearing together, it can really, really, really make a difference for what negative energies you actually remove. So with all of that said, think about joining and being part of the Alliance. Go to our YouTube channel and enjoy, have fun with all of this. This is the way, this is one of the best things that you can do in your life right now. Jason?
This is Transformation Talk Radio. You're listening to the Ecosystem Approach Show with Jason and Patricia. Living like an ecosystem is the key to a better life for you.
Thank you for listening to the Ecosystem Approach Show with Jason and Patricia. I'm Patricia. Tune in every week as we discuss practical ways to apply the ecosystem approach and develop your potential to live your life on your terms. For more information, visit our website at theecosystemapproach.org.